the things that keep me up, because you don't have control over them. Mm-hmm. And you wonder, where are we in this? Where are our hearts? What's going to happen in this next election? I am terrified about what could possibly happen, because our leaders matter. Who we select, who speaks for us, who holds that bully pulpit. It affects us in ways that sometimes I think people take for granted.
Welcome back, Patriots. Welcome back to Sons of Liberty 1773. I'm your host, Bill Bailey, who will be channeling the patriotism of America's founding fathers. Today is January 10, 2024, year of our Lord. Thomas Jefferson wrote, "Experience has shown that even under the best forms of government, those entrusted with power have in time and by slow operations perverted it into tyranny." We're there, aren't we? So Barack Obama and his seditious woke globalist regime are terrified, petrified that Trump is going to win, that all the lawfare and judicial tyranny they've thrown against Trump is failing to stop him. In fact, it's having the opposite effect and making Trump's poll numbers soar through the ceiling. Obama knows his fourth term is in jeopardy. He and his comrades are in full-blown panic mode. They know Trump will undo everything they have done to destroy our constitutional republic, that the left may not enjoy the power they have now for possibly decades. Obama just made a trip to the White House to tell Joe Biden in person what he needs to do with his campaign to turn things around. At least that's what we're being told by the press. Or did he actually tell Biden that come a certain date after the Democrat primary that he needs to resign as president so they can install their new puppet on the Democrat presidential ticket to replace him, someone like Michelle Obama? We know this. It has to be someone Obama can continue to control. What better candidate would that be than Michelle Obama, right? This article posted at Axios just 3 days ago. Behind the curtain, why Obama Dems fear Biden complacency. Lots of high-level Democrats are warning that President Biden and his re-election team are too complacent and unimaginative about the threat of losing to Donald Trump, sources tell us. The latest alarm was sounded Saturday in a leak to the Washington Post about a private meeting in which former President Obama pointed Biden to a different way to attack this campaign. We're told it was a launch just before the holidays. Obama pushed Biden to consider moving his political operation outside of and beyond his White House advisors, as the former president had done with a Chicago-based 2012 re-election team. Obama also recommended that Biden seek counsel from Obama's own former campaign aides, which Biden officials say they have done, the Post added. Why it matters. Someone wants to light a fire under the asses of some of these people. A top Democrat strategist told us, Jim Messina, manager of Obama's re-election campaign, often warns Democrats not to be worrywart, bedwetters, the strategist added. It's hard to call it bedwetting when it's Barack Obama that showed up and started telling Biden what to do. But really what he's doing, I want to take over your campaign. Because it's Biden, it's not Biden running for his second term, it's Obama running for his fourth term, and they have everything to lose. This was posted at the Political Brief. Really scary. Former Obama advisor says it's too late for Biden's 2024 campaign. Jennifer Palmine, a former Obama advisor and MSNBC contributor, cautioned on Thursday that President Joe Biden does not have a strong hand against Trump ahead of the 2024 election. And here it comes, folks, straight from the state media mouthpiece, the Washington Times. Coming, Joe Biden coup in the Michelle Obama-Gavin Newsom election gambit. President Biden will not be on the November ballot. With each new Biden family revelation, a new poll finding Donald Trump will beat Mr. Biden like a drum. The inevitability of Mr. Biden stepping aside grows. So they're broadcasting right now. Joe's going. So look what they're going to do. They don't want anybody to primary Joe. Okay, he can't step down before the Democrat primary. They need him to stay. And then when it's really close to the Democrat National Convention, then he's going to drop out. He's going to bow out gracefully. He'll make up some bullshit excuse, but his regime is going down really quick. It's poison, and it's not going to last. And his policies have been destructive to America. His poll numbers are like the lowest ever. They're in the 30s. He's not going to win. So if they're going to rig things again, they got to at least put somebody in there that makes it believable, like the person won. And so they've got super delegates at the that Republicans don't have at the Democrat convention, and that's when the installation is going to happen, and probably will be Michelle, because I'm convinced it has to be somebody that Barack Obama can pull the strings of, and Gavin Newsom might be on the ticket. I don't know that he'd be the presidential candidate. I think it'll be Michelle. He would be her running mate. And they still got to get rid of Kamala. So there's going to be something happens there where they both go away. Don't know what's going to happen, but something is going to unfold, and they are going to install their pick at the Democrat convention. One thing I find somewhat humorous is that the left they convince themselves that they're like the brightest, most educated, smartest people on earth. And so when they think about things and say them, they actually believe them. But they're not really that bright to begin with. But they think this lawfare is going to have Trump so busy from courtroom to courtroom that he's not going to have time to campaign. Well, I got news for these idiots. Trump makes multitaskers look like people that trip over one another trying to do anything. This guy can do many things at the same time and not miss a breath, not miss a beat, not miss a swing on the golf course. He can do all this while playing 18 holes of golf. He is a incredibly smart person and very underestimated by the left. But watch this montage of lefties that think they got Trump tied up in lawfare.
President Trump is going to find himself in and out of the courtroom throughout the political season here for the running up to the election.
Once these trials really heat up, when we come in the spring, Donald Trump will be too distracted to take on Joe Biden.
The beginning of next year will be very busy for Trump, who is campaigning while facing all of this legal trouble.
This is a person who is very distracted by these legal cases.
I think he's going to spend more time in courtrooms next year than on the campaign trail.
The 14th Amendment, lawsuits to try to remove Trump from each state. As quick as one state says we're going after him, to remove him under the 14th Amendment, another state overturns it. So those aren't going to hold, and the Supreme Court's going to put an end to that here real quick in February, next month, guaranteed. But we're finding out that all this criminal lawfare it goes right back to the Biden White House. This article posted yesterday at the Gateway Pundit. Smoking gun. Record reveals Fani Willis visited the Biden White House just days after Georgia grand jury recommended indictments in garbage Trump RICO case. Not only her, but her lover prosecutor, special prosecutor she hired that she paid $700,000 to, Georgia taxpayer monies. And then they were going on romantic vacations all around the world with the money. He also met the Get Trump prosecutor with the Biden regime. And the idiot bills, 8 hours. He was there twice. So 16 hours he spent with the Biden administration. But, it's worse. Kaneko the Great just posted this. This is the breaking news story. Letitia James visited the Biden White House in April 2022, August 2023, and July 2023, according to White House visitor logs. And that's the Get Trump, the radical AG in New York that's trying to take $300 million of Trump's private property on this BS lawsuit that, that they made up, they invented. There is no injured party. So it's all coming out, folks. And this is why the left is in full-blown panic mode. If Trump wins, people are going to prison. Trump is coming back, you can say with a vengeance. I have no problem with that verbiage, but it's more than that. It's honestly to bring justice to the unjust and make them pay for their crimes against not only Trump, but the American people. So they've got everything to lose. And I mean, this is going to be, this election cycle is going to be wild. This stuff is getting, this is becoming so obvious now to the American people, this criminal lawfare against President Trump, that not even the Murdoch family can stop from covering this. Here's Brian Kilmeade talking about the improper relationship with Fani Willis and her special prosecutor. Listen to this.
Nowhere to be the special counsel for this, to do a lot of the investigating, and it looks like he met with the Department of Justice officials with the White House. If this is in fact true, and we've seen the invoices in the Daily Mail that he invoiced to be paid for this, not only is he having an affair using state money, paying $600,000, where he got paid $600,000, and they're going on vacation together, but this is also interesting because you can no longer deny there's some collaboration between the prosecution of Donald Trump and Joe Biden's White House.
Yeah. Assuming this is true, this is a problem from a public corruption standpoint for sure, which is ironic because I believe his title includes something about being the anti-corruption prosecutor looking at Donald Trump. And, you know, certainly from a legal perspective, it raises questions of corruption and an unfair process potentially. But in the court of public opinion, it's even more problematic, especially if he went to the White House for 2, I believe, 8-hour meetings, according to these receipts, these expenditures. And about what? Because his job is investigating Trump with respect to Georgia. And, you know, we're waiting to hear from the White House what they have to say about this, because I believe in the past they have denied collaboration with any of these entities looking into Trump. And this raises new questions for sure.
She wouldn't answer the question, Fani Willis. When asked, are you talking to Jack Smith about this case? Have you ever spoken to him about this case? She would not answer. That tells you a lot. Donald Trump will probably be posting about this at some point today. Kerry.
Indeed, Trump did post something about it. This is at The Hill. Trump, Georgia case totally compromised after allegations against Fani Willis. Former President Trump on Tuesday insisted the case against him and several others in Georgia over efforts to overturn the state's 2020 election results should be dropped after another defendant filed a motion accusing Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis of improper behavior. Sure looks like a lot of improper behavior. Quote, "You had a very big event yesterday, as you saw in Georgia, where the district attorney is totally compromised. The case has to be dropped," Trump said after a hearing in Washington, D.C. over presidential immunity arguments in a separate federal 2020 election interference case against him. They went after 18 or 20 people. She was out of her mind. Now it turns out that the case is totally compromised. You know, this RICO case, which is complete BS. Look at the left, the communists, this is right out of the communist playbook. Accuse them of what you're guilty of. And they're going after Trump on RICO charges, right? Conspiring to commit a crime with others. Well, it looks like the Biden family, the Biden crime family, and these DAs and prosecutors and stuff were conspiring to get Trump. That's what it looks like to me. You know, these big cities, they're all corrupt. The mayor's corrupt. The prosecutors corrupt. The judges. And if they weren't corrupt, they wouldn't be there. They're just, they breed corruption, these large cities, just the way it is. I mean, look at New York, Chicago, Atlanta, LA. I mean, you can go on, right? It's why I live up here in northern Michigan in God's country, up in the sticks. Talking about Letitia James and the crooked case against Trump in New York, where they're literally invented a crime. There is no injured party. And they're just going to rule and try to take $300 million of Trump's private property. I mean, complete tyranny. So now the judge just said, I'm rescinding Trump's permission to give his own closing arguments at his civil fraud trial after denying him a jury trial, by the way. This article's at the AP, by the way. Donald Trump won't make his own closing arguments after all in his New York civil business fraud trial after his lawyers object to the judge's insistence that the former president stick to relevant matters. Judge Arthur Ingeron rescinded permission for the unusual plan on Wednesday, a day ahead of closing arguments in the trial. Trump attorney Alina Habba responded, "Is anyone surprised anymore? No, actually, we're not surprised. They're evil bastards. The trial could cost Trump hundreds of millions of dollars in penalties and strip him of his ability to do business in New York." The lawsuit brought by the New York Attorney General, Letitia James, who we now learned, thank you to Konkoa the Great, met with the Biden White House several times, claims that Trump's net worth was inflated by billions of dollars on financial statements that helped him secure business loans and insurance. That is a total 1,000% bald-faced lie. If anything, Trump was probably low. So this is just judicial tyranny. This is banana republic, even worse than that stuff. Really evil. I just spoke about this a second ago. Obama judge dismisses lawsuit seeking to remove Trump from ballot in Nevada. So when one state goes to try to remove him, another state says, no, you can't do it. And the Supreme Court is going to weigh in and put an end to this silliness here real quick. But it's just about, they want to keep Trump tied up in lawfare, get him all stressed out that they're taking everything from him and think, Trump won't be able to campaign. Well, I got news for you. I've never seen a guy with the moral fortitude and internal strength of Donald Trump. I think he thrives on this stuff. I think they're giving him energy. It's like an adrenaline boost. It's, no one else, I really mean this, no one else could behave like Trump and work through this like it's nothing. Like this man can. He is incredible. And I believe God is using Donald Trump. This is his time to shine, and great things are coming. But it's going to get a lot darker out there, folks, before it gets lighter. The Biden border invasion continues to be one of the greatest threats to our nation. Millions of unsavories have come into our country, including more than likely special forces from China, maybe Russia, Iran, and other countries. They're militant men. There's millions of fighting age men that have come into this country. And when you're leaving tyranny and oppression and poverty to look for a better life, and you leave your country behind, you bring your family with you typically. But when you're going to battle in a foreign land, you leave your family at home. And that appears to be what's happening. And they're, they want to bring in millions here and let them vote. Of course, Democrat. I think that's a big part of it as well. But what's going on now is that there is no place for these people to live. So Republicans, in this article, Republicans accelerate probe into Biden administration's action to house migrants on federal lands. I think they're going to take public property and start putting up temporary shelters to put them in. This article posted at the Gateway Pundit yesterday. New York City high school students, think about this, folks, kicked out of class to make room for 2,000 illegal aliens. They're moving into the school. So the kids can go home and work on their computers or whatever, virtual learning. So the illegal invaders can take over the schools. I think it's the 12th, I'm pretty sure it's the 12th grievance. There's 27 grievances in the Declaration of Independence. I believe the 12th was against the British quartering soldiers in the colonies. What does quartering soldiers mean? It means the soldiers had no place to stay, so you had to let them live in your house with you. And if we don't win come November, that's what's coming. This the level of tyranny will jump 10-fold, 100-fold. And this is leading. History is repeating itself. The government's going to say, hey, we see that you own a 3-bedroom house and your kids no longer live with you. It's just you and your wife. So you've got 2 empty bedrooms. You need to take these people and let them live with you. Seriously, folks, I don't think it's that far-fetched. Little good news here. This is posted by Jim Hoft at the Gateway Pundit. Developing drafting of impeachment article against Joe Biden underway, House staffer reveal. And Hunter Biden showed up today in political stunt. He's in contempt of Congress right now for ignoring a subpoena, and shows up and goes and sets in Congress. And apparently he's making a movie, so maybe this is part of his film of how he's been wronged. No, I don't think so. But I don't think that political stunt helped his dad out much. And as we learn about all the criminality that he's been working with these DAs and prosecutors and AGs to get Trump planning the lawfare, I think Joe Biden's days are really numbered at this time. And I think that's why Obama and his communist comrades are in full panic mode right now. They're trying to figure out how to do damage control. Stunning. A dim lawmaker admits on camera they are importing third world illegals to stay in power. Just what I was saying a little bit ago. They want to get them to vote. They want to get them in the country. Look, they give them a map. They're paying these people to infiltrate our country. They get $5,000 when they show up here. They give them a map of how to trek through South America, where to stay. Once they get to the border, what bus to get on or whatever, what city to head to, where the shelters are, because they're already counting votes, folks, and they know where how many people they got to put in each swing state in the major metropolitan areas to get their vote. That's my opinion. That's what I believe they're doing. And apparently a Dem has said that, said the quiet part out loud. So our battle here in America against the godless tyrants, the communists, that are really part of the globalist movement. They want the Great Reset. It's not unique here to America. It's going on in Canada. It's going on in Europe. Just in the last couple days, cops stormed Poland's presidential palace to arrest conservative politicians and hauled them away and put them in the gulags because they didn't like them having the power. The globalists are in panic right now, folks. We are winning these battles. And Jack Posobiec, whose family is from Poland, I believe his wife is from Poland. He goes there frequently. He's telling the Polish people, because they're going to have they're furious, right? Obviously. And there's going to be a big protest. And he said, hey, do not resort to violence, okay? Learn from January 6th how they tried to set us up, and don't resort to violence. And I agree with that mostly, okay? Mostly. Because had our founders here in this country, after they tried everything to make peace with crazy King George and the British Empire, to give us our freedom, stop the tyranny. When they didn't listen, they did resort to violence, okay? We would not be a free and independent nation if they did not vote, if they did not resort to violence. So there is a time for peace, and we want peace, right? We want to try to get peace by acting peacefully. But there's also a time for war. And I can tell you this guy right here is not going to live under communism. I'm just going to spend a second on this article because it goes back to our border issue. Ecuador is in complete chaos. Lawless Ecuador descends into chaos. Machete-wielding cartel thugs threaten to kill hostages and execute anyone they find in the streets as president vows to neutralize 20 drug gangs in deepening narco-civil war. What this means is a bunch of people from Ecuador are going to get the hell out of there, and they're heading north. And guess where they're coming? You know, the whole world's on fire. Okay, there's going to be more wars break out this year, and they're all tentacles of what will become World War III. This at the Daily Mail. Sweden is warned to brace for war. Civil Defense Minister tells citizens to get moving and prepare for the end of 210 years of peace as country bids to join NATO in face of Russian tensions. things are definitely getting hot on the Korean Peninsula. The little corpulent warlord there, Kim Jong-un. North Korea threatens Seoul as tensions build over military drills, and South Korea is taking the threats from North, because he's always making threats, right? And he just turned 40 years old, so maybe he thinks he's got to start nuclear world war. Who knows what drives people? But South Korea is taking them deadly serious, and they are preparing for war. Just a reminder, a huge election coming up in Taiwan. I think it's Saturday, the 13th. And they have the communist shill in there that, China would like to take over Taiwan by putting their person in power. But I don't believe their guy's going to win. The Taiwanese patriot, that believes in freedom and liberty, is going to win and walk away with it. Taiwan wants to remain independent of China's communist rule. So many believe when that election doesn't go China's way, that they are going to take Taiwan by force soon after Saturday. Could be right away. They'll start a naval blockade. But I listened to Eric Prinz, who, Navy SEAL, very in with intelligence networks around the globe, and he believes that late spring, when the seas when the South China Sea calms down a little bit, that they will then take Taiwan by force. Gaffney, however, said no, it's going to happen quicker. So just not a good world we're living in, and it looks like we're heading to war with Iran. That is coming. Every day we're getting pulled into a war in the Middle East a little deeper by what's happening in the Red Sea. Our ships are shooting down rockets and drones every day, trying to protect the billion-dollar industry of trade that goes through those waters. So 2024, the word will be chaos. We are in the year of chaos. So as depressing as it is, folks, I'm going to give you a little hopium, okay? Americans, we are and have always been a resilient people. We overcome adversity. We won our independence. We've fought our way through terrible wars and survived and became a better and bigger nation. We've lived through recessions, depressions, dust bowls, and famines and plagues. We fight our way through hard times. We are survivors. And nothing's changed. We tend to have a lot of patience, and we've got to get pushed to the breaking point before we finally fight back. But once we get our mindset that we have an obstacle to overcome, such as a tyrannical government, we do and we win. Thomas Paine said, "We have it in our power to begin the world over again." And we do and we will. We are going to survive this. And but a lot of work in front of us. The peaks and valleys is life, right? The best view comes after the hardest climb. So if you're new to this channel and you can relate with the content, please subscribe, checkmark the notification bell, give this video a thumbs up. It helps push out the content to a broader audience. Please comment below, as I love reading your comments. May God continue to bless this great nation. May the good Lord keep you and yours safe. Until next time, Sons of Liberty out. See you guys.